Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now this is an Intel Core i7-2600K gaming PC that I bought second hand. It features some pretty decent components including a Corsair power supply, Corsair RAM, Gigabyte Z68 motherboard and an MSI GTX 970. It's also got more ports than the English coastline and RGB fans that make you want to slip into some flares and dance along to Night Fever. Is it a PC or a mobile disco? The thing is, it's probably of more use as a portable light show than a PC right now because it doesn't display an image. Now I didn't actually buy this one broken, it seems to have suffered a few knocks and bangs on its journey to me. The most noticeable fault is right here. It looks as though the back of the graphics card has been ripped upwards and caused the PCI Express slot to split. Normally you'd squeeze the clip at the back of the slot to release the GPU, but if the clip isn't squeezed first, well then this can happen. Now this usually occurs as the result of inexperience or impatience, but I'm pretty certain that this happened during transit because if we take a look around the other side of the PC, then it's clear that the hard drive has suffered a similar fate. The SATA cable has been yanked from the drive and the plastic connector has gone with it. The SSD seems to have survived the journey, which is a bonus, especially since the machine wasn't even advertised as having a solid state drive. We can proceed in a couple of ways from here. We can either send the system back, or we can see if we can repair it. Because sending it back would be a bit of an anticlimactic ending, I thought we'd go for option B. The first thing to do is to check if the GTX 970 works after its traumatic and unexpected removal from the system. After adding it to my i5-10400F benchmarking PC and installing the drivers, I can confirm that there are no problems with the card. The motherboard has no display output, so I can't test it without a discrete GPU, but since it has two PCI Express slots and the 970 works fine, I thought we may as well use the secondary slot and see if things fire up as they should. After all, the primary PCI Express slot is definitely out of action. This is a temporary solution and I'll replace the motherboard in the near future, but for now the extra slot means that we can continue using the system as normal. It is worth pointing out that the second slot is however slower. While both are PCI Express 2.0, the second slot is PCIe X8, whereas the primary and broken slot is PCIe X16. Now I don't know how much of a difference this is going to make performance-wise in games, but I've seen a couple of videos and read a few articles on the subject, with the conclusion being that gaming differences are negligible in a lot of titles, though those tests were conducted with different cards and different motherboards. With that said though, I'm glad everything else seems to be working as it should. The damage to the board and hard drive is unfortunate, but at least nothing else was broken. Performance of the stock 2600K and 970 combo seems to be what I'd expect from this setup in 2021, and while we could overclock the processor with this board, it wouldn't be ideal with the included stock cooler. That's if it even remained within sensible temperature limits. To get this PC back to its former glory, a new motherboard with a non-smashed PCI Express slot is going to be required, and one that still supports overclocking so that we can squeeze the most out of this aging processor. Add to that a better cooler and we should be able to see what this system can really do these days. For now, the second PCI Express slot provides a suitable working solution, and because a dual GPU configuration doesn't make sense these days, we're not really missing out on having two available slots. Hopefully, when I come to try and sell the board as slightly broken, this issue won't put too many people off if I price it right. That money can then be used towards a new board and a better CPU cooler. For now though, I'm going to leave it there. Now I did plan to review this PC properly, but I wasn't expecting it to turn up in this condition, so we're going to have to leave it there for now until my new motherboard arrives. But as always, if you enjoyed this one, leave a like on it, leave a dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I will see you all again very soon.